Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once more, welcome to Siboga TV. And today we are going to have a political conversation. And our political conversation will be around being a patriot to your country. And before we actually go deep and discuss about how you can be a patriot to your country, I could request you kindly to take a minute or two and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Give this video a like, share the video to all your friends, and if your friends are lovers of politics, then it is good to request them for us to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Now, let us go to this topic which we call being a patriot to your country. And before we actually go to the deepest of it, I could like to give you this story, which actually we have been told now and again, which actually involves two women, where one woman unfortunately slept on her child, and that child actually died. And then at the midst of the night, that woman went to a fellow woman, he stole the baby of that woman, then he replaced the baby with his dead baby. And then once it came to an morning, then the woman who had actually not slept on her baby could tell that the baby he was sleeping with, who was dead, was not her baby. And then he looked at the other woman's baby, and then he noted that the baby that the other woman was carrying was actually her baby. But they actually fought about who should take that baby until the case was taken to the king of the land. And then the king of the land actually told the two women that because I cannot really know whose baby is this, then what I have to do, I have to cut the baby into two pieces, so that because we cannot tell, each of you will take a piece of the baby. But the woman who knew beyond doubt that that was her baby said to the king that never do that. I know that's my baby, but because the baby cannot be split into two, give the baby to the other woman. But the other woman, because she knew that the baby was not hers, then he came out and said, okay, split the baby into two so that every person can take a piece. So the king actually knew now who was the owner of the baby, and therefore he handed the baby to the real mother. So why am I bringing up this kind of story into our patriotic kind of issue? This country, which we call Kenya, it is actually the only country God has given us to be. We don't have any country. You cannot go outside Kenya and then you say that you will be better, you will feel better. It will never happen. Because anywhere you go, you will be called a refugee. Anywhere you go, you will be told you are the person who destroyed your country. And now you are coming here We don't need you here. We don't need you in our country. So that is why I have to call to the Kenyans that we need to be patriots. We need to see that this country is a better place to live. Whether you are in government or you are in opposition, the main goal is to make Kenya a better place to live. We don't need to make this country like third child who was faced to the consequences of being split into two. Because if this country will be split into two, then I'm very sure we don't have Kenya. And if we don't have Kenya, it means that the whole nation will be chaotic. The whole nation will be in bad condition. The whole nation will be in war. And that's why I have to call to the Kenyans that we need to be patriots, people who give their country the best, people who know that we have to take this country to another day. And that's why I called the government of the day, the government of William Samoei Ruto, that it must know that it has been given the responsibility of keeping this country at peace, of keeping this country to be the best place to be by the Kenyans. And at the same time, I have to call what we call the opposition side or the minority side, that God has also given them this country as a minority side. And being in a minority side is not a curse, but that's where God has put you to be. And if you are there, you are given one role to checkmate the government for the betterment of our nation. And that means that we all have responsibility to make Kenya a better place for tomorrow. That being said, then we can say that being in Kenya, we must pay tax to the government. We don't have a way out of saying we cannot pay tax, because by saying we cannot pay tax, it means that we are praying for our country to go to Rimbo. We are praying for our country not to see tomorrow, because the government of the day need to make sure that security works for the country. And for the security of the nation to work, we need the resources. We need money to make sure that we make this country to be at peace, to enhance security. For this country to move forward, we need money to pay government employees who are actually doing various fantastic jobs. We have teachers who are making sure that our children are being taught well. We have health professionals who are making sure that we have a good health. We also have the police who will make sure that we are at peace internally with each other. So we have various government employees. And for those government employees to work well, they must be paid. And that means we need capital for that. And therefore, we should not tell the country that we should bring that culture of being unloyal to the government, of actually doing what we call civil disobedience. Because by going to that remit, it means we don't wish good for our country. and also to the opposition side. Our constitution gives us that right to picket, that right to demonstrate. But that one must be done peacefully, must be done without overriding on other people's rights. Because you have your right to picket, you have your right to demonstrate, but I also have my right to do business. I also have my right to wake up very early in the morning and to go on doing my business. And that being so, I always admire those countries where democracy has actually grown, where if you are picketing, nobody prevents you from that. And you should not prevent any person from doing his daily chores, daily activities. So we must be a country where we are patriots to our nation, where we, whenever we do or whatever we do, we must do it for the common good. And that's when we will say that Kenya will be a better place to live. Kenya will be a better place for our children to come. And that's actually what we need as Kenyans. I don't know. What's your take about all this? If you could like to drop your comment, please drop it at below the comment section. And if this is your first time to pump into this YouTube channel, I thank you and I request you that take a minute or two and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Give this video thumbs up. Share the video to your friends. And if they are lovers of politics, then request them to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And with that, I say, may God bless you abundantly as we become patriots of our nation, Kenya.